Daria, welcome to my channel, and today I have my 8th update for Pen Z palette, and it's quite an exciting update. Honestly, it's always this year. But this project was created by Amber F. I will link her down below, and a lot of people do this project from year to year. It's my first time doing it, and I've been working on my Urban Decay Naked Palette since January, and it's an original naked palette, and by that I mean it's the version of it before it was discontinued and brought back, so it's quite old. And in July I've rolled in my second Pen Z palette, and it's this mini palette from Lin and Low mineral makeup, and my mom decluttered this palette to me. By the way, I'm not really happy with my base makeup today, and I hope nothing strange will be noticeable on the camera, but if you will notice something, please don't tell me. But let's jump into this video. So that's what the naked palette was looking like when I rolled it in January, and I've had quite a lot of dips in the palette. This palette wasn't unused by any means, but I didn't have any pens or empty shades. And in my first update, I was able to hit 3 new pens in Virgin, Bug and Smoke, and also I've created some nice dips in other shades. By my second update, I've hit pens in Sin, Half-Baked and Dark Horse, and I expanded pens that I've already had. By my third update, I had my first finished shade, and it was Smoke, and also I was able to hit pens in Naked and Sidecar. By my fourth update, I finished Bug and Virgin, and also hit pen in Creep. By my fifth update, I've managed to finish Sidecar and Scene and hit pen in Toasted. By my sixth update, I've managed to finish Naked and Toasted, and by my seventh update, so by my last update, I've managed to finish Half-Baked, Dark Horse, and also I've hit pen in Hustle and Gunmetal. And that's what the palette is looking like today, and as you can see, we don't have any new finished shades, but I've managed to expand all of the pens quite a bit and make a really good progress on this palette. So I will show you once again what this palette is looking like right now, and I'm very happy with it. So I don't have any new finished shades, and all of these 3 shades were like in this palette last update. And I've used Hustle 10 times since my last update for a total of 41 tracked uses. I've used Creep 25 times since my last update for a total of 182 uses, which is insane. I think I will reach 200 mark and still this shade will be with us. And I've used Gunmetal 10 times since my last update for a total of 51 uses in this project. And basically I use Hustle all over my lid, I use Gunmetal in my outer corner and in my lower lash line, and Creep I use almost every time that I do my makeup as a liner. I don't use a lot of this shade, and that's why it's moving kind of slowly. Well, I think I will be done with Hustle and Gunmetal by the next update, and I think it will take me less than 10 uses to finish both of them, to be honest. Which is quite great because these two shades are not my favorite in this palette. So basically, by the next update, I predict that I will be left just with this black shade. And I don't know how long it will take me to finish it. I think for now I will continue using it just as my liner. But if by November I feel like I won't be able to finish this shade by the end of the year, if I use it just as an eyeliner, then I will start using it in my outer corner, and I think that way it will go quite quickly. So basically, I'm happy with the progress on this palette. I'm not worried about it at all, and I'm confident that I will be able to finish it, maybe even in a couple of months. Let's now talk about this palette from Lin and Low Mineral Makeup. And I rolled it in July, and that's what it was looking like when I rolled it in. So this palette only had 3 shades. 2 of them were lid setting shades for me, and 1 of them was a brow shade for me. And all of 3 shades already had pen in them. And that what this palette was looking like last update. And as you can see, I was able to finish 2 shades, and I've created a Franken with 1 of these shades and repressed it into a bigger pen. And that's what this palette is looking like today. So I was able to reheat pen in my Franken shade, and I've managed to expand it quite a bit. And I use this shade just as a lid setting shade, so that's why the progress is so good on this shade, and also it's quite powdery. I've used this shade 26 times since my last update for a total of 60 tracked uses, which is quite good. I think I will be able to finish this shade in a couple of months, since I use it almost daily and it's just an easy shade to use. I don't really need to think about it, I just apply it almost every day. I think I will need to repress this shade by my next update, just because even now it's kind of difficult to pick up this shade on a brush. So I think I will repress it sooner rather than later, but yeah, I don't think that I have a lot of product left in this shade also. So I don't think it will be really difficult for me to finish it. So basically, I predict that by the next update I will finish 2 shades in this palette, and I will be left with 2 more shades. One of them will be lid setting shade, and another will be just a black eyeshadow. And that's why I've decided to roll in my 3rd palette for this year. It might be kind of insane, but I think I can make quite a good progress in this palette in the remaining 4 months. And the palette that I've decided to roll in is this quad from Lime Crime. It's Venus XS in the shade Rose Gold. And now you can see what it's looking like today. So you can see that I have 2 pens in this palette already, and in other 2 shades I have quite nice dips. And this palette wasn't in any project, I was just using it organically, and yeah, it was one of my favorite palettes. Maybe it still is, but it's quite old. I've bought it in 2019, I guess, and I remember myself buying it from USA when I lived in my home country. So yeah, it was quite a journey with this palette. I don't know if I will be able to finish this palette, this whole palette by the end of the year, but I will try. I'm sure that I will be able to finish this pink shimmer shade, and I think it's called Charm, and I think I might be able to finish also this gold shimmer, which called Divinity, I guess, because it's also a shimmer and I can use it all over my lid. I can use it like in inner third of my lid with almost every look, and also I found out that I can use it as a brown bone highlight if I use a very light hand. So basically I can use it every day, so I might be able to finish it by the end of the year. We will see. And maybe if I focus on this dark pink matte enough, and it's the shade Eternal, I might also be able to finish it, especially when I'm finished with gunmetal shade from my Urban Decay palette, because this shade I also can use in my outer corner and on my lower lash line, and maybe if I feel like it, I can use it almost every day, to be honest, because for me it's a very versatile shade and I do a lot of pink and purple looks, so yeah, I can use it in a lot of looks. And if we speak about this lighter shimmer, it's the shade Angelic. I'm not sure about this shade, but if I have a good progress in this palette by November or December, and I feel like I might finish these 3 shades, then I can use this shade as a blush. And if I use it as a blush, well, first of all, I can use it every day, and also I will use more products than if I just used it on my eyes. So yeah, basically I think that I might be able to finish all of these 4 shades by the end of the year, but it will be a challenge for me. The only shade that I'm sure that I will be able to finish is this one, which is Charm. It's one of my favorite shades in my whole collection. I really like it, and I use it all over the lid, to be honest. And this shade, this light matte shade, I use in my crease. So basically, yes, that's the introduction of another Penzet palette for this year. I'm not fussed about it, about finishing this palette by the end of the year, but I will try and we will see how it goes. And since this palette is very old, it's quite powdery. But I'm ready to say goodbye to this palette, I guess. So yeah, I will just be using it and we will see how it goes. And for this palette, I predict that I will be able to hit pan in this light shade, which is Divinity. And that's kind of it, I think. I think I will finish this shade Charm in 2 months maybe, but not by the next update. And of course, my soft goal for this palette also will be to use each shade at least 10 times next month as my goal for all of the other shades in this project. But that's it. I hope you won't mind that I wrote another Penzet palette for this year, but I'm just a little bit nervous that I will run out of shades, and I want to have a focus palette every month, I think, just because it really helps me to get use out of the shadows that I'm painting, you know, and it really helps me to finish some of the shades. So I hope it's okay with you that I wrote in another palette. But that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I hope you will stay with me on my project painting journey. Thank you again so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!